Wee teleporting sounds. Hello, everybody. 'Tis me, your favorite extraterrestrial, feline, contagious creature of the night. Bibbidi bobbidi. You get the joke by now. So, I'm here on a spaceship, a rather decent one. A spaceship with nice wood paneling and nice crunchy carpet below my paws. Feels pretty good. It's a bit used though. Bit of a fixer-upper. Almost like it may have been reconstructed after being exploded once or twice or several times. You know. Usual thing for a used starship these days. That said, the reason I'm here is not to talk about Star Trek. I know, shocker, and I actually like Star Trek. Old Star Trek. I haven't watched anything new in years. No, I'm here to talk about a movie I had been aware of for a long time, but never actually watched until recently. And I have to start this with one particular thing, because you're kind of required when talking about this movie. Flash! Whoa! Yeah, Flash Gordon. This movie is a delight. If you have not seen it, I recommend it right off the bat without even talking about it. It's delightful, it's fun, it's incredibly silly, it's very, very dumb, extremely 80s. It's kind of spectacular. I had a delightful time. I was laughing and cackling and just, a lot of fun. Honestly, one of the best things I've seen this entire year, and it's not even from this year, it's from back in the 80s. So, for the literal children, or condoms full of sperm that might be watching me, that probably happens. Flash Gordon was a old science fiction property that has weirdly stayed around long past most of its contemporaries. It's about a Earthman dealing with aliens and Ming the Merciless, who's a conqueror dude, and all this stuff around that. And it's kind of the atypical prototype for a lot of the basic science fiction stories that came after. A lot of Star Wars is in Flash Gordon. A lot of this, a lot of that. It's one of those things. But the movie adaptation from the 80s is a weird, bizarre little thing. You've got a Queen soundtrack, a really good Queen soundtrack, and it's one of the two 80s movies that, for some reason, Queen said, hey, let's give these things all-timer soundtracks. For movies that, well, at least in Highlander's case, I like Highlander, but it's not what I would call high cinema. Flash Gordon is a special case, and that soundtrack elevates it up quite a bit. More deservedly than Highlander, I will say. Like, this one deserves this soundtrack. Highlander having a Queen soundtrack is just kind of like, good for that movie. Good for them. This deserved it. The movie's unapologetic about what it wants to be, which is just spectacle on a budget that cannot deal with it, but makes it try its best anyways to give you the most bang for your buck. So there's a plot, allegedly. You got Flash Gordon, all-American football star man, and a reporter lady whose name I forget. That's not important. They happen to get kidnapped at gunpoint by mad scientist man who is completely right about everything, because that's his character. His job is to be right about everything, even when he's pulling stuff right out of his ass. He's completely correct on it. So it turns out Earth is being attacked by Ming the Merciless, an evil intergalactic conqueror dude with a Fu Manchu mustache and a bald head and spectacular fashion sense. Mostly fashion sense that reminds me of Char from Gundam. Because, there's some big old, bird-themed vests and military uniforms and, Actually, Flash wear a couple like that too. They look like Char. Awesome. Char has great fashion sense. Just throw a bird helmet on their head and boom, you have live action Char. Anyways, off topic. Gundam's fun. Most of it. Some. I'll get back to that. No, I won't. But yes, Ming the Merciless has attacked Earth because it's there. He's kind of a douche. It's one of those kind of villains. Amusingly so, he's one of those jackass villains who has surrounded himself with an entire cavalcade of weirdos who all hate his ass and are trying to betray him at every possible moment. So many that's pretty much a clown car of betrayals on top of betrayals. His I think it's his daughter or some relation is sleeping around with everyone trying to betray him with that and get more power. You got his skull-faced main hench dude who is sleeping around with this character, and he's got his own jackbooted thug squad and lady who's actually got kind of robot reasons. You got Timothy Dalton's here being Space Robin Hood, essentially, and he's like, he also is under his boot heel, but he's having to play nice because he's a prince and stuff. And of course, the other thing this movie is known for, beyond the soundtrack, was Ryan Blessed, who is here as a Hawkman. So it's Ryan Blessed in like a leather daddy outfit with like He-Man fur shorts and a helmet and giant bird wings strapped to his backside. And he's having the most fun I've ever seen an actor have just playing around. He is big, he is bold, he is a friggin' delight to watch act. And I've not seen him in anything else. I know he was kind of a big deal, particularly for Brits. But this is him just having a good damn time. He is in schlock. He knows he's in schlock. He's getting paid to be in schlock, and he is giving it his all, his Brian Blessedness. And I know it's kind of an old hat thing to point out. Brian Blessed is kind of awesome in this movie, but he is. There's a reason people remember this movie. Other big thing, production design. This movie has some of the most elaborate sets and costumes and gigantic variety too that I've seen in a long time. They're trying to get the budget of, like, say, easy example, the Dune movies that are coming out. The one that just came out last year or two, and then the part 2 coming out soonish, maybe. That kind of level of big ass spectacle on a 13th of the budget. So there's so much spandex, so many sequins, so many clearly cardboard sets covered with fiberglass and beads and other stuff to make it look better. And honestly, it's honest, it's earnest. The movie feels very just honest. Like, it wants to be this gigantic, silly science fiction spectacle thing. It's going for it hard. There is no ulterior motive at all. This thing is completely pure to be a silly-ass science fiction movie where where an American football player fights a bald alien dude with a Fu Manchu mustache, and it's been rides a space jet ski while Brian Blessed flies around bird wings behind him. And he also fights aliens with the power of football in his opening action scene, no less. So yeah, this movie kind of crazy. Okay, that kind of is, but it's like that pure, perfect action spectacle that you got only in the 80s. The only other similar movie I can think of, for comparison's sake, is Big Trouble in Little China. That one also was just doing whatever the hell it felt like. Damn the consequences, and everyone was having a great, fun time making that thing, and it shows. It bleeds out of the proceedings, out of the screen onto your lap, and you'd be like, oh, there's fun all over my lap. I need a tissue, actually a box of tissues or a sock. But yeah, if you're not, if Flash Gordon's here, he is mostly just there to look pretty. And the movie is kind of aware of it and surrounds him with tons of other interesting stuff. He's there to be the hero. There's nothing else to him. So he's just basically a himbo eye candy. The actor, he's there. He's trying. he gets carried by everyone else, but that's okay. The movie is actually aware of the fact that, I think it's actually aware of that the main lead is the least interesting part of the entire proceedings. And the movie's built around that. It accommodates for that. It is structured to deal with the fact that its hero is just kind of generic action, all-American action man football player dude. He is a dude out of time, out of place, out of country, out of state, out of everything. And he's just like, oh, my skills are football and being handsome. And my chin is going to get me through most of these things. And he's right. Good chin, pretty hair. Big buff man. Kind of like a Ken doll, got upgraded to lead action star of your science fiction movie. And it works fine. Everyone else is good. Timothy Dalton is actually playing a pretty good jackass. Like, good for him. It's nice to see a Bond get into place something other than a Bond. Well, actually, technically, James Bonds are usually jackasses, so this is just kind of a slightly more murderous. Actually, he's just playing Robin Hood James Bond in space. That's all. So there you go. Also, some very funny fight scenes on essentially the pit stage for Mortal Kombat, but it's a disc and it can tilt, and just it's also above a bottomless sky pit, like someone made a hole in the middle of Cloud City, or that one place in Game of Thrones where that one lady was breastfeeding her 15-year-old. I should talk about Game of Thrones sometime on here. Nah, actually, never mind. No one cares. Anyways, Flash Gordon. Great, silly ass movie. Really fun. Very recommended. One of the best times you will have watching a movie. Get friends, just enjoy this weird ass 80s spectacle of just delightful silliness. Well, I'm gonna go try to either drive this thing myself or find a robot or a bald man or a man with a beard or a man with a beard and a very unfortunate forehead. John Delancey might be hanging around there somewhere. You know, he's always doing this thing when he's not being ponies or something else. Anyway, later. Oh yeah, Flash. Oh, I don't have nipples on this avatar. Bam, 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 bam. Oh yeah, like and subscribe if you want to see more of myself and talking about movies weeks after he saw them with extremely inaccurate facts and being a naked, null, horny kitty cat man. This is where you come from. This is where you go. I am the current purveyor of this particular thing. Like and subscribe. Check out my don't check out my Twitter anymore. That's just a fire that's happened, silly smoldering. Check out my art galleries. I also have Twitter. I have a Telegram thingy now too for you to catch the art like that. I have a Patreon. Feel free to give me money. I enjoy it. I will go nom 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 to your money and go ooh, and then I will fart out some more art, and it'll make you happy, and then I will do this, and you'll go okay, thanks, I guess. Bye.